Hello, it's Isabella, and today is going to be a bit more of a serious video because I'm going to be talking about the darkest point in my life when I was seriously struggling with depression and I was at my rock bottom. But I'm also going to be talking about some tips and tricks that really helped me to feel better, and if you are struggling as well, I really hope that this video can help you. So it all started in May of 2016 when my dad lost his job, my nana died, and my cat died, all within the span of a month. And I really lost so much all at once, and that has never happened to me before, so I think that's really how it started. I began to have irrational thoughts that I was worthless or not good enough, and over time these really began to build up and I began to feel more and more trapped. I knew I needed to tell someone, but I was too afraid. I didn't know what they would say or if they would think of me differently. It was really, really scary, which at the time, that was all in my head and that was another irrational thought. But when I really told people, like, they were really happy that I told them. People in your life who care about you would rather hear that from you than have you suffer alone. And a lot of them were going through similar things early in life as well. But before I told anyone, this night took place and I will remember it in detail forever. It was past midnight and my parents and brother were fast asleep. But I laid awake, unable to shut my eyes and lock myself away from the outside world. There were so many destructive thoughts racing around my head. That irrational voice was telling me that I was a worthless waste of space and that everyone dreaded coming to school and seeing me every day. I walked to the bathroom and stared at myself in the mirror. I did not recognize that girl looking back at me, and I did not know if my genuine smile would ever come back. I walked to the kitchen and I held a blade to my wrist. Tears spilled past my eyes as rational thought entered my brain at last. I thought about my family and what they might think if I had a cut on my wrist tomorrow morning. Then I thought about how my depression could worsen if I gave in to these thoughts. I remembered the recent presentation at my school by a girl who tragically lost her brother from suicide. I remembered how emotional I was and how extremely devastating to his family and friends. I released the blade. I could not do it. I needed to get better. The next night, I plopped beside my mom on her bed, and she was about to drift off to sleep. But she could see it in my eyes that something was wrong, so she waited 30 minutes while I sobbed uncontrollably, unable to let those words pass my lips. Finally, I told her that I thought about self-harm. She gave me a big hug and reassured me that I was not alone and we will make it through this trap together. That was when I began to get to the root of the problem. It was stuck in my head that I would just keep losing the people that I care about, and I could not see the purpose of life. But after a few months of daily inspirational quotes, upbeat music, and talking to my loved ones, I was in a better place. I briefly relapsed into depression last year when I realized that I was not straight, but the weight was rapidly lifted off my shoulders thanks to the overwhelming support from family and friends. To this day, I still have some days where I do not feel motivated to do anything, and some days are worse than others. But most days, I feel a genuine happiness that is not obstructed by irrational thoughts, and living is worth it. So now I'm going to list off some tips on how I got better and how you can get better as well. My first one is to listen to upbeat music, because at least for me, there was always like sad songs stuck in my brain when I was struggling, and listening to happy songs and getting those in my brain instead would really help lift my mood. And by the way, I'm looking down because I have the list of songs right here. So some of the songs that really helped get me through are Firework by Katy Perry, Stronger by Kelly Clarkson, Don't Worry Be Happy, I Got a Feeling, and Brave by Sarah Bareilles. Sorry if I butchered that last name. Those songs are really inspirational, and just listen to the lyrics and enjoy it for what it is, and really will help you feel better. My next tip is to think about when your depression started. Could there have been something that caused it? For me, it was when my Nana died, my cat died, and my dad lost his job all at once, and I thought I was just gonna keep losing everything and everyone I love. So that really sparked irrational thoughts. So to combat these irrational thoughts, look in the mirror every morning and tell yourself that you are worth it, your friends and family love you, and you have so much to offer this world, because you really do. You could also say something to combat your irrational thoughts, like specifically that you're having. For example, when you find the root of the problem, say something to combat this irrational thought as well. I said, it's not like you will wake up one day and everything will go wrong. When one thing disappears, another good thing will come along. And that really holds true, because my new baby cousin was born shortly after this happened, and I got a new kitten, and that kitten was a big help to fill the missing place in my heart. And don't get me wrong, nothing will ever replace what you lost, but you can take certain measures to make yourself feel whole again, and that is an essential part of recovery. My next tip is to watch videos about reasons to live. That is something that really helped me when I was struggling at my worst points. I will link some of these down below that really helped me, and they're all over YouTube. Search like 50 reasons to live or 100 reasons to live. Something will pop up, but yeah, I'll link some down below, and these were just really helpful at my worst points to motivate me to keep fighting. My next tip is talk about it. Seriously, talk about it. To anyone you trust, a trusted friend, family member, even teacher, or social worker, anyone in your school, just someone you trust and you know could help you. Chances are they have been through something similar. That was my experience. And many teens and adults alike struggle with depression, and they will be able to help you and give you even more tips to help you get better. And my final tip is to know that you're not alone. Like, this might sound cliche, but it's true. Look around and say if there's 20 people in the room, at least one of them is struggling with the same thing. Everyone goes through this at some point in their life. Everyone. And it's something that is really hard in the moment, but you will get through this. You will get through this because you are strong, you are beautiful, and you have so much to offer this world. Just remember that on a day-to-day basis, and I really hope you can get through. And I know you can, because you are very strong. Thank you for watching until the end. If you liked this video, if it helped you, please like and subscribe, because then the more likes and subscriptions I get, the more people this can reach and the more people I can help. So please help me out. So yeah, I hope this helped you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.